This story is from Your Turn Practice Book, page 103 and 104. The Oak Tree and the Tiny Bird. Far out in the country, in the middle of a grassy field, there lived a beautiful oak tree. The oak tree loved her home there in the field. She loved the feel of squirrels jumping from limb to limb. She loved watching the sun rise every morning and dip below the horizon each night. She liked the feeling of wind in her branches. During rainstorms, she enjoyed feeling the water run down her trunk. One morning, the tree heard a tiny bird chirping sadly in her branches. The tree looked and saw a baby bluebird there, trembling. He was alone in a nest of twigs and feathers. The baby bird was shaking with fright. "What is the matter, little bird?" asked the tree. The tiny bird jumped. He looked surprised, startled by the tree's question. The bird choked back a few tears before saying, "It's my mother. She left the nest 2 nights ago to go get me some food, and she still hasn't come back." The tree had seen this happen before. Sometimes mama birds leave their nest to get food and run into danger. And sometimes they stay away longer than they planned. "Well, your mother may be gone, but you still have me," said the tree. "First things first, let's get some food in that belly." The oak tree saw some squirrels scrounging around on the ground. They were running all over picking up food. "You, there, squirrel," whispered the tree. "Will you share some of your nuts and berries with this good little bluebird?" "Sure," said the squirrel. He dashed into his home.
Teachers, at this time, please dismiss the Mercury bus. Mercury, all buses have been dismissed. Please also dismiss all remaining side car riders. All remaining side car riders. And front car riders. Please dismiss all remaining front car riders, which means all students have been dismissed.
He dashed into his home in the tree. He reappeared just as fast with his paws full of food. The squirrel ran again to the bird's nest and tossed in nuts and berries. The tiny bird ate everything up and felt much better. "You must be thirsty," said the tree. The tree carefully shook her limbs. She cautiously bent her branches, and morning dew from her leaves trickled down to the bird's open mouth. With the help of the squirrels and occasionally other animals, the oak tree kept the tiny bird fed and watered. Every once in a while, an owl helped out. Sometimes a rainstorm passed over the grassy field, and the tree would gently put her limbs around the tiny bird to protect him from the wind and rain. This went on for weeks. Slowly but surely, the tiny bird began to grow. One day, the tree went to check on the tiny bluebird, but the bird was not in his nest. The tree searched all over her limbs and trunk, and even the ground, but she could not see the tiny bird anywhere. What could have happened, thought the tree. Just then, with a flutter of wings, the bluebird, which the tree had loved and cared for all these weeks, flew and landed among the branches. He had a mouthful of nice, juicy worms.
Reed, please go to sidecar rider. Timotheus Reed, you were one of the first people called, Timotheus.
"Why, you're all grown up," exclaimed the tree, "and you can fly." "All thanks to you," replied the not-so-tiny bluebird with a smile.